Hello, everyone. Pamorn Trish here, founder and director of Champions Gym, and today I wanted to record this podcast to talk about some of the things that perhaps people don't see behind the scenes, and that is our product here at Champions Gym. And I'm joined by the lovely Trish, who's our merchandise manager. She's in charge of concepts, designing, producing, and getting our products to turn out like what they are today. So, Tricia, tell us a little bit more about our new range today, and we have a couple of things in front of us. Yeah, you're the person behind it all. To give us a bit more info about it.
What we've got here are our new icon gloves. So they come in khaki, yellow, red, blue, black and white, 16 and 12 ounces, and they're new. This is basically our new core range of gloves. So we've made some improvements on the previous ones, mainly in terms of the strap and the durability and the comfort. So yeah, that's basically it.
Awesome.
We do have some upcoming products as well, so things like Muay Thai shorts and some new gear.
Awesome, yeah, and we'll get to that very shortly. Yeah. Now, obviously, today's chat, what we wanted to go over was some of the new products, some of the adaptations and modifications, improvements over the years. Also, the history of the product. So, some little known things that people perhaps didn't know about the product and where it started, the humble beginnings, and why we decided to produce what we produce. And then, your role and how you came to get involved, and what your aim and your goal is long term for Champions Gym as a brand. COVID and some of the headaches were forced to face as well, and then obviously some of the exciting new products. So awesome. Before we dive into any of that, I do want to ask, obviously we've got our new shorthand logo. You played a massive part of getting that to what it is today. Something that I actually couldn't do because I'm too fussy and I just could never get it right. And it was very refreshing going, Trisha, just take this because I cannot do it. So tell us a bit more about how it came to be.
So basically, the Champions logo and the branding is very big and bold, and I wanted to have sort of like an icon or something that could be short but very recognizable. So we came up with the CG shorthand logo, which is just Champions Gym, and the iconic star and the sort of bar underneath, and it is very complementary to our regular Champions Gym logo. And I wanted to have something on all of our gear that people could easily recognize and bring a bit of brand recognition and awareness when our members are wearing them out and about.
Awesome, very cool. And let's talk about the other. We've got our seal that's also been developed over the years. You probably can't see that, but tell us a little bit more about that. That was something I also could never nail right, and giving it to you was something that just got done unemotional and done really well. Tell us about it.
So basically, it's our quality assurance logo. You won't be able to see it, but it's a staple that's on all fight gear that you buy, and it's just something that is kind of a seal of confidence and brings a bit more integrity to the brand, because we do test all of our gear thoroughly, and it is tested by fighters for fighters.
Absolutely, and it's definitely something that leads into the next topic, and that's the history of the brand of Champions Gym. Mm-hmm. So not many people know this, but I was a person who originally started out as the product designer, and for me, I've always loved having an independent brand that represents like a club. So there's clubs out there that have other people's brands, and for me it was really important to ensure that we had our own brand, because I don't know, if it's bold, it's strong, it's powerful, it gives people some reason for people to believe in it. And I started out, I think it was 16 years old, with my own website. It was a total flop, by the way. It was horrible. It was called Pamorn Sport, and basically what I wanted to do was import high quality products from Thailand, bring it in for people to buy and use here in Perth. It went okay, I sold a little bit, but in the end it was meh. But my point in that was I had made lots of mistakes, and I had the chance to work with lots of different brands to basically put it in the think tank for what stands in front of us today. And before starting Champions Gym, the actual club and the brand itself, for me, getting a flagship range of gloves and general wear, getting that was really important.
Definitely.
So I used to spend hours upon hours in front of a computer working with developers, developing the brand and the logo, but also the design with manufacturers overseas. So Whitney can attest this. I'd be up to 2 or 3 a.m. working in crazy US dollars, even though it was a really bad exchange rate at the time. But it was important to kind of figure out and find a way, number one, to find someone that was trusted, that could produce high quality equipment, reliable, consistent quality as well, and then have it arrive, which is most important. So 10, 11 years on, here we are today, and obviously handed the brand over, or the design over to yourself, and that's been something that's, for me, was super hard because I'm a control freak. Most people don't know that, and I'm like, it's got to be spot on, it's got to be perfect, and then, but honestly, like, since having yourself come on board, Trisha, it's been like a game changer. It's unemotional. It's just like, we need this, let's do that. We don't need that, let's run with it. So tell us a little bit more about, like, before you came on board, your background and like what you're good at and what you do.
So basically, before I started working here, I actually have my background in education is in finance and economics, which is completely different. I worked in that for a few years, and then I just decided that I always wanted to just do something creative with my life. So after getting made redundant in 2 jobs, actually, I started to teach myself design. And then I also, like you, Pamorn, tried to build a couple brands and a couple websites with just headache after headache. And I just, you learn a lot of things along the way. And I just really wanted to get into merchandise design, and I've been doing it on my own for a while, and now I've been doing it for you guys, and I just love it. Yeah,
definitely. And like, what is your role mainly comprised of?
So basically, designing all of our merch, coming up with new concepts, and also making sure that all of our gyms have what they need when they need it. And hopefully, what I really want to do is to not just make our merchandise something that we just sell to our members. I want to build more of a brand for it that we can sell outside Champions Gym that can also attract more attention towards Champions Gym.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's definitely something that, like, when you can find a certain, like, benchmark of quality, design, usability, and like something that just stands the test of time, I think that's really, really powerful.
Definitely.
And not just when it comes to gloves, not just hand wraps, but like, when people are wearing the brand as well. So like, for me, my mission has always been, it's got to be like wearable in public, whether you're going for coffee, whether you're going for a walk with the dog, out with mates, at the beach, like, it's got to look attractive.
Yeah.
So it can't be like, I don't know, like, there used to be days of like MMA gear was pretty cringe back in the day. You remember the tap out days?
Still is, yeah.
Yeah, it's like really loud. And
and it's all the same. It's all got the same vibe, and I really want us to have a different vibe.
Yeah, totally. What's your vibe? What's your vision?
My vision is so part of creating or going with the concept of just having CG on most of our stuff is I just want to create an iconic brand that is different from all of the Muay Thai brands that I see. Like, a lot of them sort of exhibit the same art style and elements, and none of them, but a couple of brands like Engage, really go away from the grain. And the ones that do, I feel, are really successful, and people are drawn to it, and I really want to make something like that for us.
Yeah, and Engage is a great brand. My buddy Ash, if he's watching this, a couple of the things I really love about Engage is like their simplicity, but then obviously like they work really hard on always improving their designs from where they started to where they are now. That's a brand that I really love as well. Just talking about inspiration, so one big inspiration for me in Champions Gym in the very beginning was always Fairtex, because Fairtex is, as we all know, like a powerhouse. Fun fact, I should say, the founder of Fairtex, his name's Philip Wong, the original OG. He actually started selling condoms in the nightclub. Did you know that? In the 70s.
I didn't know that, no.
He was legit a condom salesman in the nightclub, selling them in the 70s or 80s. And then later down the track, he opened Fairtex, and then here they are today. And absolutely like amazing product, and great fighters and athletes, and just the overall brand is so powerful, and that's something I want for us as well.
And they take a lot of risks as well, which I love, and you can see it in all of their gear.
Yeah. So what are some of the risks that you see that you admire?
They're like Your Face range, where they collab with that artist. It's a super colourful like range of shorts, tanks, and I think they've got gloves and another item. But it's just really like, it doesn't have the usual Fairtex slapped onto a glove. It's just like a whole print all over the glove. So just stuff like that, which I think they can get away with doing, and is successful because they're at the point that they're at. Because they've already built that recognition. Like, they're the number one MMA gear brand.
Totally. Let's talk about some of the things you absolutely love when it comes to working with product, and then some of the hardest things that you face as in the line of work that you do.
What I love is obviously being creative, especially being creative in something that I actually want to do. There are a lot of creative jobs that you are stuck doing something that the client wants that you're really not passionate about, but I am really passionate about this. Some of the struggles, I think, really with the manufacturing and the timeline side of that and the logistical side of that can be a bit frustrating. You know, COVID really had an impact on that, especially made things more expensive. It also made things longer. But that's always a process that is kind of always going to be there.
Yeah.
You have to work with the limitations of your manufacturer as best as you can, because, you know, they are delivering kind of the best goods to you. But yeah, I think it's just that you constantly have to adjust.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. Okay, cool. Now let's talk about some of the impacts of COVID. Our good mate COVID, and over the last 2 years has been very challenging. So, what were some of the things that you found difficult and challenging?
I think one of the things that were difficult were mainly everything was more expensive. So the freight, especially, I'd say triple to what it was before, which really kind of impacts the amount we can order, because, you know, we do have a budget for everything. The amount we can order also impacted how the timing, so things were coming a lot later due to just a chain of like delays going from our manufacturer to us. So it's just those workarounds. Everything kind of slowed down really, which kind of means you can't get like a sample out to you as quick as you want. You have to kind of plan for every run, and it kind of limits the creativeness that you really can have, because things are so slow and you have to really want something and make an effort to get it, and not just, you know, get a sample here and there. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. And it was very challenging. And one thing I can say is like the brand is definitely something that carried us along as well. Yeah. Kept us all in a job. You know, we had some great product. Like one thing I really love is people wearing Champions Gym gear, whether it's using them in the gym, hitting the pads of the bag, using it in sparring, but also just wearing it for casual wear because it looks and feels great as well. So
definitely.
Awesome. Anything else you want to add, like with some of the things we've been talking about?
Not particularly, but, you know, we do have some new things coming out, and I hope everyone's excited.
Yeah, before we get to that, I actually have one thing I want to ask you about. Like, you know, a lot of fight brands predominantly over the years have been like very much male dominated. Like I was talking about the MMA brands over the years being very cringe. Like, obviously yourself having your female touch and your creative touch as well. Like, how do you ensure that we don't just become that? And like, we're a unisex brand, but we also like want to make things wearable for both. So
I think one of the main things that I want to do with that is actually when it comes to things like Muay Thai shorts, anywhere that I've gone, they've only been designed for men, and they just look horrible and unflattering on women. And I can't really find a brand that has a line specifically for girls. So that is definitely something that I'm going to bring. Yeah. Because, you know, we have such a large portion of our members are women, and you don't want to just give them an option that gives them all a muffin top. So I think female-specific gear is something that I don't see a lot of brands doing, unless it's like the generic bike shorts, which is kind of easy to make. Yeah. So I think really focusing on something for women to make them feel more empowered when they're in class is really, really important.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. And let's talk about some of the new items coming up. What have you got in store for CG gear?
We've got some winter items. So we've got some hoodies, some crew necks. Nice. We've got a new range of Muay Thai shorts coming out. It's a bit of a refresh. And yeah.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. What's the biggest thing that you're excited about, things to look out for?
Probably the Muay Thai shorts, I think.
What have we got? Give us a preview.
I think we're going to do a bit of a sort of refresh on the Stadium Classic shorts, so something maybe in khaki, and then we're going to have a new range of Muay Thai shorts, so which will be our CG Classics range. Yeah, awesome. And like, what is, obviously, like you said, you don't want it just to be like a Champions Gym brand. If we can expand to being a fight gear brand, like how do you envisage that happening? I think that will really happen if we put a little bit more focus on our the e-commerce side of things. I think fleshing out our shop website a bit more and using a lot more content online, I think will really get us there.
Awesome.
yeah, just getting everyone to get really excited about it.
Yeah, awesome. So keep your eyes out, ladies and gents. All that new gear will be coming into a club near you very soon, also available online. If you haven't seen our Icon, or Iconic or Icon?
Icon.
Our Icon range, these are some of our gloves. Like I said, they come, or like Tricia said, they come in red, yellow, green, or khaki, and they also come in blue and black and white.
Yeah.
And we've also got socks. So very recently, we decided to go into the world of footwear and socks just because, well, we do hand wraps, and you got to keep your hands protected. So why not keep your
And your feet.
protected and warm as well? So tell us just a bit more about the socks as well, because we totally forgot about that, by the way.
That was actually Whitney's passion project. She really wanted a pair of crew socks, and I think it was a great idea because they came out pretty cool.
Do we have any black
So
ones here?
we've got a black and a white pair.
We've only got the white ones on, but yeah, okay.
I unfortunately don't have them on, but yeah, they'll be online as well.
Awesome,
Yeah.
very good.
Cool.
All right, ladies and gents, if you've got any other questions, feel free to shoot us a message on the socials, on Instagram. You can hit us up at Champions Gym or Pamorn D, and Trish will be able to reply to those as well. But yeah, really excited for all the new product we've got, and hopefully everyone really enjoyed this segment to go over some of the great things with our product. And yeah, look forward to doing it again soon. Thanks for your time.
No worries. Thanks, guys.